Great. So we have a great product here, I think, that we wanted to talk about, but kind of going over also, can you see the kind of AP view of some of the model here?
Yeah.
I'm going to go over some of the anatomy above the table shot. There we go. So if you're looking at the lumbar spine, looking at the medial branches, if we're looking at a medial branch neurotomy, we're looking at, getting at the nerves above and below the joint, for example, if we're getting a nerve ablation occurring for the L4-5 joint, which is right here, we're getting after of course, the L4 medial branch displayed right here, as well as the L3 medial branch, which is along in this fashion here. What you do see, the black mark there, is the mamellar accessory ligament. That's something to note because in some approaches that people take, maybe using standard RF, that's something that you have to make sure you're providing the proper imaging and orientation and angulation. So going significantly, 20 degrees oblique and caudal tilt to making sure you're not just burning the mamellar accessory ligament, but above it and onto the nerve. If you did that AP view, you would just be going right down, burning that MAL, mamellar accessory ligament, and not really burning the medial branches, which your target is, okay? But we have a product here from Stratus Medical, a probe and needle that is used to provide a larger lesion, okay? A larger lesion that is using thermal RF and have right here. So if you look at the actual needle itself, can we take a look at and caption that? We're actually, in a clockwise fashion, you're turning the dial at the proximal end. Oh, it's hard to see there, isn't it? I'll try to stay still. Sorry, Gary. So at first, it was in this fashion, retracted back. And you see here, as we deploy in a clockwise fashion the dial, we have the deployment of the tines, which are these extensions of the probe, which provides a pear-shaped like lesion and helps provide a significantly larger lesion, which is actually comparable to a cooled RF lesion in size. Okay? Isn't that fun? So another point which we made is that you don't have to be exactly on your nerve. At times you don't know exactly where it fully is. And let's say you're in the area of the actual region of the confluence of the SAP and the transverse process. And look, maybe be back at the actual AP view. Thank you. So I'll hold that there, Kevin. No. So if we get that proper angulation, we get the needle to the area, deploy the needle, the tines or the prongs, as you will, but tines are deployed, and which pushes off the actual area, but you can also deploy it, turn it 180, and deploy it once more to provide an angulated lesion towards the more medial aspect. So, okay. So if you look at the size and shape of the lesion, thank you very much. That is the shape of the lesion itself. That would be in comparison to a standard RF, which is very more elliptical and a lot thinner in size, width-wise. So the volumetric size of this would be approximately 600 millimeters cubed, which is very similar to the size of a cool RF lesion. That is in comparison to a protruding electrode, which is approximately 1/3 the size of this. And standard RF, even maybe 1/5 the size of this. So you can notice the pear-shaped lesion itself, it provides more on the lesion, more towards the distal end, which is where you want the burn on the nerve, okay? So another point is that you don't have a lot of extension beyond the actual tips of the tines. So it may be approximately 1.5 millimeters, if even that, below the surface of the actual burn. So you get a lot more of the burn actually at the nerve level and not below the area, which you might probably see with maybe cooled RF, which extends deeper within the bone. So if we look at some of the actual displays of the actual standard RF, as you see this elliptical size lesion in standard RF, and significantly smaller size of lesion compared to the lesion provided by the Nimbus. This was just cooked up by Tammy, our Stratus Medical rep, just a while ago. Here's a piece of chicken there, but a significant difference in size. So if we were to use the bipolar mechanism of this product, it can be quite useful in helping our patients with SI joint pain and providing a nice strip lesion here. So you would deploy the needles. I'll hold that needle there. Go ahead and deploy it. Yeah, play around with it. So you deploy it, and you would face it towards one another in approximately 1.5 centimeters to 2 centimeters in distance to provide a nice strip lesion. And if you can imagine that going in a strip lesion fashion, parallel to the nerves, or right onto the nerves in this type of fashion to help get at SI, sacroiliac joint pain, okay? Of course, it can be used for geniculate ablations, hip ablations, as well as shoulder. But those are some of the uses for it and helpful in our patients to provide pain relief for joint-related pain, facet-related pain, and quite useful for our patients overall. So great outcomes of 12-month alleviation for SI joint pain and lumbar facet joint pain, medial branch neurotomies. So something to look out for in the Nimbus product overall. But if we look at the lesion volume in particular, if we want to go back to that, significant size difference in the lesion volume provided. And we're looking at 80 degrees Celsius for 90 seconds compared to cool RF 60 degrees for 150 seconds. But PE meaning protruding electrode. So significant size and volume change compared to the protruding electrode, as well as standard RF, which is anywhere from around 150 millimeters in volumetric size. Okay? Questions that you may have?
Okay, cool RF versus multi-tine RF, both large volume.
Wow.
Questions? Okay.
Question, Kevin?
Must have done a great job, you guys. All right, most important thing before we adjourn, the course happy hour is at Optimism Brew.